What's going on, folks? How many people we got coming in? All right, live show, man. Texas versus Alabama. What's everybody think about what went on today? What a great game by Texas. The whole 20-point spread thing. I think people can kind of just get rid of that. I've been telling people for a while this game is going to be a lot closer than what people think. I'm glad Texas did make it close. I've been telling people that, I thought if Texas was going to lose the game, it's going to be 41 to 31, 41-28. But Texas did have a shot at this game, and people thought it was crazy. But shout out to the defense, man. That defensive game plan by Coach PK was great. It was amazing. Texas left a lot of points on the table. Texas loses 20-19. That missed field goal at the end of the first half was huge. Not complaining here, but the two pass interference calls that weren't called were huge. The face mask call that wasn't called on Bijan Robinson was huge. And I was telling my wife, who anybody knows she's an Alabama fan, we watched the game from different homes today because I didn't want to hear all that. But I called her afterwards and I told her, Quinn plays that whole game, game's over. It's not even close. So let's just hope and pray that Quinn Ewers is healthy, and plays in the conference play. We're not going to need him for UTSA if this team continues to play like this. What a hell of an effort. JB, what you say, JB? Whoop our hobble back up, almost beat number one. Ewers would have, yeah. That's what I told my wife. She doesn't want to believe me on that, but oh man, guys, let me know what you think about this game, man. I mean, I thought it was a great juggernaut game. Texas lost this game. I hate moral victories. I'm not going to say this is a moral victory, but Texas showed up very well on the national stage, which is amazing. I think this only helps us going forward. I think our big thing last year was how mentally tough this team was. Bama comes in. They come in with a full-strength team, and Texas goes toe-to-toe with a full-strength team here and absolutely does their thing. The defense, man, shined bright. Alfred Collins looked good tonight too, man. A lot of pressure. Sweat looked good too. I can't wait to watch this film over again because, so there were plays where I saw that they put Sweat right over the right tackle. And I guess that was just to get some mass out there on mass, basically to set the edge. So that was interesting to see as well. The refs are bad. Let's look at some comments here. If they didn't believe they were different before, then they better believe now. Held them to 374. Exactly. Hell of a game, man. Hell of a game. Jeff Barber, F the refs. We beat those. I'm not going to put that on there. Robert Muhammad, yep. If Quinn is healthy, good job. Texas, number 8 now. LOL. I don't know about that, JB. The safety in the end zone, what could have been a fumble, that true. Also, the face mask on Keelan that wasn't called. The two pass interferences in the end zone that weren't called. The one on JT Sanders was obvious. That was an obvious pass interference call, but it is what it is. Hey, I'm not here to complain. I'm just here to say I'm proud of this team. Win or lose this game. What a hell of a game. You take the number one team in the country down to the last second of the game, man. What a hell of a game. Texas did their thing. Shout out to Hudson Card, too. He gutted it out. He wasn't healthy either, as well with the bummed up ankle. But shout out to Hudson Card, man. He definitely thugged it out today, man. He didn't make the deep throws, which is one of the problems that we actually had with him last year. But he balled out, man. He balled out from what he could have. I think Bama's game plan was basically to, shut down Bijan. They know Bijan is their guy. Not a lot of film on Quinn, so they didn't know what to expect from Quinn. So he's kind of an unknown for them. They actually shut down Bijan pretty well They stacked the box pretty well and dared Texas to pass the ball. When Quinn was in that game, he passed the ball and did an outstanding job. A couple deep throws, some that he made perfectly. The one that Worthy that he dropped in the end zone. I mean, how big is that play now? That's the difference between winning and losing games is making plays when you have to. How big is that missed field goal? How big is that safety in the end zone that wasn't called? That dummy of a roughing the passer call, which wasn't a roughing the passer call. Yes, Alabama had, believe me, they had a lot of penalties. Well, that's just undisciplined play. That's nothing to say bad about the Texas Longhorns. That was just undisciplined play from the Crimson Tide. And we got a special guest, folks. We got a special guest. Big Homer, what's up, baby?
What's up, man?
The Crimson Tide, and we got a special guest, folks.
Can you hear me?
Big Homer, yeah, I hear you, man.
Right.
What's going on, man?
Nothing, man. A little bummed,
Oh, man. I always tell people, Homer, that we have like our group text that come in. It's me, you, Texas Football Talk, Nash, and, Steven, and just everybody on Orlando and, Locked On Longhorns. And we're all tweeting, like just behind scenes and stuff, man. And, hey, I'm very impressed with what Texas did today, man. I couldn't be any more proud of the team. I was just telling just the fans here, man, that, dude, we had a couple missed plays. If Worthy catches that ball, man, I mean, just think how big that play was, right? Yeah, that's a 4-point swing there. Who else? The missed field goal at halftime, the safety that wasn't a safety. I mean, we had some things going against us. Man.
On the flip side, Alabama played the worst game I've ever seen them play early on, too. So it's like we had a bunch of the missed stuff.
Yeah.
But when I also look on the other side of it, Alabama was playing so undisciplined. I haven't seen them like that. And they still missed a couple PIs. They missed a face mask.
Yeah, face mask, I was telling you. Yeah.
So they should have even got more. So it's like, yeah, Worthy should have caught that one. The run game, there was no run game, especially on the interior. You saw in the group chat, every time we ran inside, I would get furious. I was like, we need to pass on first down. I'm not talking deep. Just hit Whittington on a slant or something because we're not able to run against them. And you saw them do that. They had success with Gibbs early, and then we shut down their run game. Those final couple drives from Alabama, they abandoned the run altogether and just started passing, and that's what we needed to do.
That's what we need to do. Exactly, man. God, man, I'm hurt. I'm hurt. Yeah, man. That was a hell of a game, though, man. I can't look. We had our second string quarterback with a bummed up ankle, and we still almost pulled this game off. We still almost pulled this game off. Hell of a defensive game plan from PK.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell of a defensive game plan, man. He's definitely earned just a bunch of praise from me, man. I know everybody on here was down on him last year, and rightfully so. But, man, hell of a defensive game plan from him. I hated what we did there in the second half with playing kind of soft in the secondary, and especially on that last drive. Bryce was able to eat us up, man. So,
they figured us out at the end, man. It was all outs to the sidelines, and then they would throw over the middle. That's all they would do. Remember for the final drive, I told you all you're going to see is routes to the sidelines and then over the middle. And that's exactly what they did. So they figured us out by the end of it. And, some of that, it's Bryce, man. He's an incredible quarterback. It's incredible we were able to hold him for that long. I knew he'll figure out the puzzle eventually, but how they beat us was nothing new or inventive. Yeah. It was just, all right, get somebody to the sideline, get him out, and then hit over the middle. And so that was what was frustrating. I was really proud of Auburn to hit that field goal. I did not think he was going to hit that.
I know we were texting. We were like, oh, man, this over. He ain't going to hit that. When he hit it, I was like, you got to be freaking kidding me, man. It's
and that's how we found out about Dicker and OU. That's when you find out about if a kicker can do it, because it's such a mental position, dude. Like, you're practicing by yourself most of the time. That was good to see. I know we missed that one, but I think it was the one we missed too. There's something off with the snap as well.
Yeah.
But there were missed points there. The thing that did get me is going for the field goals in the middle that we did hit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, pull out a 2-point conversion play, because we were playing conservative with Card, and Card can throw over the middle and he can pre-snap read really well. So it's like if he can see the inside receiver, the DB's outside alignment, he can hit that slant. And we were playing like he wasn't capable of doing that. He struggles down the field, which we saw, but that stuff he doesn't struggle with. And so I really disagreed with that conservative play style with Card, even when he was hurt. You saw him complete a couple times.
Yeah, this is one of those games where Bama is the champion, not the champion of last year, but the champion of the last 15 years, right? Against Bama, you got to go for broke. You got to go.
You have to go for the kill shot.
Yeah, you got to go for broke. You got to take the will from them. But talking about Will Anderson, good little segue there. Yeah. Texas did a pretty good job of containing him today, man. I was pretty shocked in the passing game. They blocked him pretty well today. Kelvin Banks held up pretty well today as well.
Yeah.
I was surprised when Quinn was in there. Texas had some time to throw the ball. Yep. And I was just like, you got to be freaking kidding me. This line is starting to gel, even with those two freshmen up there. So
the only big play he made was the one to end it.
Yeah.
And that wasn't because Will Anderson made a great move. It's because we missed him and didn't pick him up.
Yeah. Bijan tripped on the play and he didn't pick up the block, so he tripped.
And so it's like he wouldn't even have had that. So, and he was killing them, man. He was lining up off sides. He was acting very uncharacteristic of his ability. So I would say that Will was actually a detriment to their team this specific game when normally it's the complete opposite. He finally made his play at the end, but it wasn't a great play on his part. No one picked him up. And so he was able to get – I told you I did not want any play action on that play.
Yeah, I know you told me. I
was like, we don't have the time for it to develop.
Yeah, it was just it was too much like pretty shit in the backfield, like during that play, right? It was too much stuff going around. So man, that was a hell of a game, though. Yeah, but look at this comment here, man. Shout out to Jameer Johnson. He played very well. Jameer Johnson played very well today. I was shocked, that Jameson went out, but he should have had that pick too. But Jameson's been balling, man. I got to give him his props, man.
He was in a boot, so we got to see how long he'll be out.
Yeah. Hey,
but that fourth down stop by us, like that kind of stuff, they got us earlier, but to stop them there, I mean, the defense, it was awesome, man. Like, that was very inspiring to see that. I mean, think about this time last year, dude. Like, if they didn't give up that one run where we just missed, I mean, that was a shutdown performance. And then they started to get the secondary late. But as far as like D-line and stuff, man, that was awesome.
I was very shocked with the defensive line play too. I just didn't know what to think about it, like from last week. But seeing the day going against a Bama team and, knowing just how big those guys are, they played outstanding, man. They play with some heart, and I think that's one thing that we've been missing is that dog attitude, right? And Coburn, man, I got to give shout out to Coburn's balling his ass off this year, man. And just to see him kind of click it on and just be consistent. And they were consistent for pretty much the whole game. Usually, like you say, man, fourth quarter last year, actually third quarter on last year, the defense and the offense just wasn't that good. But both teams were truly engaged throughout the whole game. So just to see the defense step up and do their thing was just amazing.
I was worried about, remember OU last year, we came out on fire, but it's really hard to sustain that level of excitement for 3+ hours. And so I was like, the fact that we were able to sustain it throughout the entire game is what I was really impressed by. There was a ton of growth, man, like especially defensively from last year. So game plan was good. Guys were playing with excitement. They weren't scared. When they did make plays, we answered. We got a crucial fourth down stop. Bryce was not able to do anything until the fourth quarter. And really, once he got his legs going, I was in the group chat with our Alabama friends. We were like, he's going to have to start running, dude, because there's nothing there. So our coverage.
Our secondary is great.
Yeah, until halfway through the fourth. But he was getting coverage sacked. Like it was really impressive for the defense, man. And the offense gave them nothing, once Quinn got out. And so it's like eventually I was thinking, okay, in the third quarter they're going to have to wear out and they're going to start scoring like crazy, but they didn't.
But that's the conditioning piece. Maybe they're conditioned better this year, so maybe Becton has those guys conditioned better. Yeah. I mean, they didn't seem tired at all. And then also I think our depth might be just a tad bit better this year too, or guys have bought in, and now those guys who probably weren't as bought in last year are now bought in, and they're going balls to the wall right now, right? So, man, hey, Homer, somebody's telling you sound better, Homer. It's all good. Oh man, what a game though! What a game! I don't like moral victories, but I don't think this was a loss for Texas on the national scene. I thought this game had the opportunity for us to lose a lot of momentum with the guys that we got when it comes to like this cycle for recruiting and for the next cycle as well. I thought if Bama would have came in here and won by 20 plus, it's the same old Texas. But I think them kind of holding suit today, keeping it basically 1 point, that this keeps the eyes on us, right? So, I'm excited about it and what this means for the team here for the next,
and guys we have head-to-heads with guys visiting with Alabama too, so that was important as well. But yeah, man, I think it bodes well for the rest of the season. I'm always going to analyze the mistakes and what could have been. That's just the part of being an analyst. But it's like just as a fan, that was an awesome effort. If Quinn was in, we're going to have to do it's the same thing as 09, right? Like, what could have been. But it was really encouraging to see Quinn early on, man. He was sharp.
Yeah, exactly. Let me see what else we got. He said, "Is that somebody at my door?" I'm at my other house, so I don't know. It must be my neighbor or something. I'll answer when I answer it. Because winners take the who is this? Isaac again. Hit the best, get the loss in turn. Wow, Gary P showing he's definitely. Hey, that's a good comment. Gary P showing he's definitely helping us as well. Yeah, that defense just turned the corner this year. And that's all due to Gary Patterson. Well, I'm gonna say all no, that's continuity, but Gary Patterson helping not only on the defensive side of the ball, but also on the offensive side of the ball with the call. So man, I was stoked about it, man. I was stoked about it.
Yeah, you hold Alabama. What did they end up with? Was it 20-19? Was that the final score?
Yeah.
Yeah, you hold Alabama to 20 with a Heisman quarterback. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's incredible. Hey, Homer, hold your show for a minute. There's somebody at my door.
Okay. Go holler at him. But yeah, overall, guys, I feel good. I mean, of course, it sucks to lose, but that was an awesome game. We were in it until the last minute and 30 seconds. We left a little bit of time on there, but it bodes well moving forward. Hopefully, we can get Quinn back soon. I think they said on the broadcast, y'all tell me if I'm wrong, but an AC joint. And if that's a lower grade sprain, you can come back fairly quickly, especially if it's on the non-throwing arm. So hopefully we do that. Bijan definitely got shut down a bit, but I kind of expected that with the run defense, and I don't think that'll be a big issue moving forward. I'll have to look at the stats for the other Big 12 run defense guys, but I feel good, especially if the team can take this as a moral victory. I think it'll turn out positive for us. So I don't think it's too big of a bummer. I'm trying to read some of y'all's comments right now.
I'm back. Sorry about that, folks. That's my neighbor. He's a big college football fan too. And I was like, hey, look, I'm kind of recording the episode. So yeah, the future is bright. No more, definitely.
No, I'm taking a moral victory here, 100%. 100%. The spread was 20 against the greatest college dynasty.
No, 21 and a half. 21 and a half right before the game.
I'm taking a moral victory for sure.
Yeah, he was open across the field, and Ham was open in the end zone in the Anderson sack. I know he didn't have time to get it to him. He didn't have time. He didn't have time. And, like Homer said, not because of just how great of a play he made. It's because, Bijan slipped and he couldn't get the block. It just was what it was, man. So, so heartbroken. Hey, Mark, it's all right, man. It's all right. Oh, Lando. What's going on, Lando?
What's up, y'all?
What's up,
sorry, I'm low tech Lando today. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me all right. I'm actually in Florida with a bunch of buddies for the weekend.
Hear.
I just
I
just watched the game, so from my phone, I don't have my normal setup, but just wanted to pop in and say what's up.
What's going on, man? How you feel about the game?
Lots to be excited about, Nino. I mean, that was obviously it's tough to swallow in hindsight, knowing what could have been if QB1 stays upright, of course. But I was proud of Hudson the way he fought. clearly limited in some capacity as far as decision making goes. But dude, I mean, I think you got to feel good.
Especially lacking reps. Like
right.
Remember
Exactly.
Sark was all like, we're going with QB1. He's getting the bulk of the reps in practice. So Sark had to really, or Card had to stay mentally focused, and he had limited reps to complete those plays. So we couldn't finish it off in the red zone, but between the 20s, we were able to move it.
Yeah, exactly. That was tough pill to swallow, man. Tough pill to swallow. It is what it is. Hey,
I mean, Quinn was out playing Bryce in the first quarter from what we got to see. So that was just super exciting to finally have that verified, that he's the real deal. He's the real deal.
Yeah, to turn that around from ULM, throwing picks early and then showing up in Alabama and dropping dimes, like Worthy drops it and then he does hit the one to Worthy. Like that was incredible growth.
That was beautiful
against a great opponent.
Yeah. That's what I love about Quinn so much is he's never too high, he's never too low. You can never tell if he had a great play or a bad play. He's never excited. He's just an even kill. He's almost like a cornerback, right? It's like he's on an island and it's just like next play, right? Hey, touchdown, good. Let's do it again, right?
And the pocket presence, dude. Like Anderson is in his face. Like Sanders is blocking him, but he's still close to him. He has no fear with that, man. He'll step up and make the play. That's a little difference with Card. Card will start to juke the pocket and kind of when Anderson got close, but Quinn has no fear of that stuff. He'll hang in the pocket. That was super cool to see.
Yeah. And he steps up and makes the pass too, man. Like he's not afraid to embrace the hit too. Like he knows he's going to get hit on a couple.
Yeah, we saw.
He's definitely going to step into it and make his best throw. Right. Rarely throws off his back foot if he doesn't have to. It's just, man, it's just great to see that we got our guy. Sark has his guy. Right.
Yes, no question.
Like Sark has his guy. So I was excited to see that too, man.
Yep. But the limit the pass rush, man, like there was really nothing going on for Anderson, nothing going on for Turner. That part was really incredible, man. Like Anderson made the last play, Turner made the hit on Quinn, but he didn't make the play on Quinn. He hit him after he threw it.
Yeah,
right.
And so it's just like that was what was really impressive, man, for this young of an O-line. And Kelvin Banks, like you said, I'm going to go back and watch him specifically in the highlights. But it was nothing like last year where you felt like we were being hunted on every play. That was really cool to see.
Those two guys, Homer, like you're saying, didn't single-handedly wreck your game by any stretch of the imagination compared to what most, experts or even fans out there would have predicted. Given the talent those two guys had. Yeah, that's exactly.
That pass rush is the best in the nation. And so if we can do that against that pass rush, man, then all right, we're going to be okay. Because
we'll be fine. We'll be fine. But we'll be fine as long as if Quinn's going to be the guy for the rest of the season. That's the wild card. All right.
So here's the way I was looking at it. I don't know if y'all already talked about this or not. Tell me if you think that this is kind of accurate, but had it been, like Homer mentioned, a lower grade AC joint sprain in the non-throwing shoulder, you would like to think that you can come in and play on that in some capacity, right? The fact that he didn't return tells me that it was more than just a minor AC joint sprain, which to me is probably somewhere in like the 3-week range-ish.
Yeah.
Would you guys think? So,
yeah, I can see that.
From what I saw from Hudson, I feel good about us being able to put together a really good game plan, go out and execute next week against UTSA, and then be just fine in the early parts of and the early goings of the Big 12 play. So
I had the UTSA game on. They were losing, but I think they tied it up. So I got to see it. It might have ended, and I missed it. Chat, do you know who won Army UTSA? If it did end,
I'm not sure if it ended or not. Either, but also. We seen Sark say this, like pretty much for the last couple of weeks, where he said, this is a great game, but I'm not really worried about it. If we win, we win. We lose, we lose. Like we can still lose this game and win the Big 12. That's what I'm really worried about. So with him holding Sark, Quinn out, I think this is just me speculating. Maybe it's just a matter of him knowing that this is icing on the cake right here. Right?
Yeah.
We've shown what we can do. We've shown what we can do in this game. This is icing on the cake. Yes, I want to win. We're going to try to win this game, but I'm not going to get my future killed out here, just because I want to prove a point out here. I still got 10 more games left to play and 9 in conference, right? So
Right.
We have to see what's wrong with Card too, man. He's visibly limping.
Clearly,
when he went down to make the hold, he really struggled to get down on it.
Yeah,
I noticed that.
I noticed that too. He was wincing to get down. It was like he was shimmying himself down to get down, man. So
yeah, and he had that sprain last year from West Virginia. So I don't know if he re-aggravated it or what it was, but I mean, there's real chance we get down to the third string here, which is terrifying.
I mean, hey, Charles Wright was actually warming up.
You saw he was ready.
Yeah, Charles Wright was getting hot.
Hey, people been asking. Hey, everybody's been asking for Murphy, right? Be careful. We might give Malik Murphy a little bit sooner than you want it, right? So, hopefully Texas can put some points up in this next game, and just get everybody just a little bit of time to get some, just a little bit of shine, right? Where there's Charles Wright, where there's Murphy as well, because, like Sark says, you need two good quarterbacks. Honestly. We might need 3 or 4 good quarterbacks this year.
Need a stable of them now.
Lord have mercy. That's
why
whenever
I thought we might see more Roshan down the stretch, but I guess not.
Yeah, we did Rocat for one play, and I was like, all right, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. Yeah. But when everybody was, Quinn camp versus Card camp, and the other side would roast the other side, I'm like, you're gonna have to wait because it's very rare that one quarterback plays the whole season. You need to want both of these guys to succeed, and you saw it immediately.
We saw it immediately. Man, when he went down, I was just like, at first I was like, is it a concussion? Because he wasn't moving. Like, I was like, what's wrong with him? He's not moving. His legs were still. I was like, is he out cold?
Oh, no.
What? But when he came up with the shoulder, I was, I thought it was a collarbone at first, but we'll see what Sark says after the game, man.
UTSA won in overtime, 40-38. So that's their second overtime in 2 games. I'm very pleased with the offensive line. We should be able to handle business against them. Hopefully, I don't want to get too cocky, but we should be able to handle business. Our defense should be able to do their thing. And so look, I'm excited about that defense, man. I was very worried about that defense coming into this game, and I think it looks like we're having the makings of a defense that could be top 50 defense in the country or better if they continue to play this way. We're going to have some games where things are going to happen. We're going to give up a bunch of points. It's the Big 12, right? They're going to score some points on this. Oklahoma's going to score points. Okie State, if the quarterback is on, but he's the wild card, right? They're going to score points as well, too. Texas Tech is going to score points as well, too. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But I always said if this defense was average, all I'm asking for is an average defense. Yeah. This team's going to go very far this year, so they're above average now.
I don't think there's any doubt about that, and I think that also just kind of speaks to – I've been saying this to a couple of my buddies that are here with me on the trip, just talking about the positive things that we can take away is you're kind of starting to see the continuity. I think the big part of what we're seeing, the defense, and just a relatively small but pretty, seismic quantity today defensively is the year 2 with – your defensive coordinator plus the addition of Gary Patterson. I think just you can't speak to how much that really matters as far as continuity goes and guys playing fast without having to think. You just watch the Texas D line. Even those interior guys are communicating with each other. They're getting adjusted, holding each other accountable. And that starts at the back end with Jaron Thompson too. And it's just having like this major trickle down effect from leadership on the field, but then guys feeling comfortable with the coaching staff situation and the proverbial eye in the sky with Gary Patterson helping out PK and everybody just kind of getting in cahoots with one another in year number 2. It matters, man. It really does. So I was very, very happy to see that today.
Man, that the whole secondary continuity was perfect too, man. Bryce couldn't throw the ball because there was nobody open. I mean, those guys were covering. I mean, it was amazing to see, man. And I love the fact that we had Anthony Cook back there as safety now. He's a field general who, who can see the whole field. Thompson played very well today too. I got to go back and look at the film as well, but he played pretty well. I was very happy with Watts, minus that last play where he didn't get the tackle.
Oh man.
It was right there, dude.
It dialed it up perfectly too.
That was a perfect play, man.
I think you said it, Nino. You were like, that's the one time being a small quarterback like really benefits you. If he was just an average sized dude, he's on his back.
He's on his back, man. And you got Watts, who's 6'3", pushing 6'4", probably.
Yes. Yeah, he's 6'2".
And he's trying to get low on the guy who is 6 feet, right? Is he 6 foot total? We'll see. But Man, what a play. I mean, just what a play by Bryce Young. I mean, he's a Heisman Trophy winner for a reason, you know.
Right.
So
that his dad being the mental conditioning coach, just having that influence on him his entire life, and being prepared for just sports psychology. Once you get to that stage, it just kind of shows you, man, he's not bothered by anything. And
we had a minute and 30 left. Me and Nick immediately said we left too much time. Like, as soon as we kicked the field goal, we're like, this is exactly where a Heisman quarterback in Bryce is going to be able to march up the field.
I was like, too much time.
Did you guys think it was an interesting sequence of plays though? Like right before their go-ahead field goal, 3 passes in a row. Like I thought that was kind of interesting.
Their run we started to totally shut down their run. I wanted to do that, dude. Our run was getting shut down. We should have abandoned and gone straight to the pass because Bijan didn't have a great game, dude. And it wasn't because of Bijan. It was just because that interior defense. Like I wanted us to abandon the run as well, and they did that. Because remember, Gibbs was killing early.
Yeah,
and then we adjusted.
Yeah, he was getting 6 yards to pop, and then we adjusted.
And then we adjusted, which is another great thing from last year.
Yeah,
that we saw that adjustment. But no, I wanted us to abandon the run as well. Now I still wanted Bijan in the pass game because we had a lot of success there. But when we were trying to run up the middle towards the end right for our field goal, I'm like, what have we seen that's going to be positive? And they have timeouts, so we're not going to be able to run clock either. So I wanted us to go one more pass.
Yeah, I agree. I just meant like that last little 3-play sequence right before they kicked the go-ahead. It was just interesting that they kind of gave Texas 2 times. They could have ran it twice and taken a shot at the end zone to milk a little bit more clock to the point to where Texas wouldn't have even had time to run a play where they did get the ball back, you know. But yeah, I was also thinking. I mentioned this live. It was just re-racking my brain trying to process everything. But I noticed that Sark did abandon the outside, like the stretch runs with Bijan. Just you can't try to get Bijan going laterally against the 2 edges of that caliber. They're just too fast, too athletic. It's just too much.
Corners are really good in the run too. Like last year, Kool-Aid was a top 5 run stopping corner. So like their exterior, even with the secondary, is a really good run defense. So outside zone is tough too. So it's just like play action, get Bijan on dinky screens. I wish we would have seen more Jatavion.
Yeah, I did too, man. I thought for sure on that last drive, you know, I was texting, you know, that hey, it's going to be a play action to either Sanders or Worthy across the middle. And you know, we didn't get Sanders involved, nor you know, hardly any enough in that second half, man.
So
you know,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, update, man. So Quinn has a clavicle sprain. So, you know, MRI tomorrow. And so, you know, clavicle sprain. I haven't seen it.
So no joint separation, no fractures of the collarbone. That's positive stuff, guys. That's good. That's good. Yeah. What was I going to say? I just had okay. It was clear to the Jatavion Sanders point. To me, it was clear that without this is again the impact of no Jaleel Billingsley is going to be a huge part of this offense once he returns 4 weeks from now. But it was clear that Jatavion was going to be asked to do a lot of helping in the pass pro today, right? And so when you have to kind of adjust and completely scrap your entire game plan and bring Hudson in, that just becomes all the more important. And then, you know, there was a few times and drives where they kind of spent too much time behind the change and off script. And so like Jatavion can slip those blocks as he's chipping on the edge. And that's where you kind of get those little slip screens that really get him activated. But when you're constantly 3rd and long in the second half, like we were for the majority of the time, it felt like it's really tough to get him going because he's got so much pass protecting responsibility, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, also,
in the screen game, you can get him, but Card does not like screens, man. He does not like pressure in his face.
Yeah.
And so he rushed 3 screens that if he would have just chilled for a second. Because Quinn would have chilled and been the thing too is the angle. Like he's not great with the sidearm. Quinn would be able to throw it around him, and so that was the thing. But he just when the pressure's in his face, man, he is not comfortable.
Yeah, that's a really good assessment right there, Homer. Because like now that you say it, I can so vividly see exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
About the pressure in his face. It's just kind of like panic mode. But again, that comes with reps, so we'll see.
Yeah. Hey, so here's a comment, from Corey Baker. Jalen Hill is coming to Texas. That's funny because, it's been so much chatter about him, at Bama. He was at Bama last week for an official. He's at Texas this week for Texas official against Bama. He had an unofficial Bama visit 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? And so, everybody says Hill is coming to Texas, but just with us, we kind of been all saying like he really likes to see Alabama a lot, right? But
A&M's throwing their hat in the ring as well, man.
Yeah. But I think the thing now is with a game like this, I think what this game does for Texas is show everybody that gap that we thought Texas was going to have going into the SEC, it's not as big as what people want to perceive it to be. And we've been saying this for a long time about Texas football. They're one quarterback away. A great quarterback, a transcendent quarterback erases a lot of stuff. Bryce erased a lot of stuff today. Mm-hmm. Any other quarterback not named Bryce Young behind there gets sacked by Watts. Doesn't have the arm talent to make the throws that Bryce did. Doesn't have the composure that a Heisman Trophy winner has. Right? I mean, it was good to see Texas play well against Bama. But it's also good to see Texas finally have a quarterback in place that we know for a fact we're going to be straight every Saturday. Every Saturday we got a shot. Right?
I'll be right back, guys.
All right. Yeah. Man.
I had another thought kind of spinning off that as far as the defense goes. I mean, would anybody be surprised? Would you be surprised, Nino, if this Bama wide receiver core as it presently sits today, as far as our depth chart goes, had, say, two, maybe 3 eventual first round picks on it at the receiver position? Would you be surprised at all for Bama?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Eventually
those three guys.
None
of those guys were involved at all in the game plan.
Yeah.
Because they got shut down for 3 quarters.
Yeah. Now, granted, they did have a couple big drops too in the game too.
They did.
Kind of uncharacteristic. But, I think that's a lot of pressure, too. Texas put a lot of pressure on those guys, right?
And that's also like our corners running step for step, being physical. Like, they're playing with these boys, man.
Yeah. I love the game plan. I love PK's game plan. Terry Joseph, as much hell as people gave Terry Joseph, they're saying that he might be the weak link in this coaching staff, man. Terry Joseph's had just go check his track record. When he was at North Carolina, when he was at A&M, he likes big, physical defensive backs, and if he does get like a smaller cornerback, they're smaller and like more stout, right? They're like a Quandre Diggs type. That they might be 5'9", 5'10", but thumpers, right? But typically likes guys that are just a little bit taller, and so he's starting to get his guys in place too. You can see just from just a recruiting stance too. Having Jameer Johnson come in, him being just a true freshman this year, right, and having him play, man, he looked damn good. Even when Shark went out, he looked really good. So I was excited to see that. Ryan Watts, like we said, man, Ryan Watts he's that dude.
He's the truth. He's the truth.
He's that dude. I don't care about the missed sack at the end. That could have won the game.
I know. I mean, he missed
so much in this game. We haven't I haven't seen a cornerback at Texas do some of the things he's done since Holden Hill. Being physical, being rangy.
That's a good comp. I saw you say that halftime. That's a pretty close comp. I'd say.
So he's
the fact that,
I
was just gonna say that too. I mean, the fact that that play is gonna stand out in a lot of Texas fans' minds, maybe even mine included. The missed sack, right? Was that, by the way, was that on 3rd down or was that 2nd down?
That was on 2nd down, I think, because it pushed it to 3rd, and Bryce got the 3rd down conversion.
Okay.
No, so, that was 3rd down. That was 3rd down because it was 3rd and 7 or whatever. That sack could have pushed it back, and Bryce ended up running it for the 1st down.
That's right. Yeah, it was 3rd. Okay, 3rd and 7.
3rd down.
So, but I'm all right, man. He missed the play going 100 miles per hour. That's
and all. I'm fine with
that. I can't be mad at that, right? I love the effort. It was perfectly dialed up. It was almost there, right there, man, right there.
Yeah. You can't be mad if your guys are going 100 miles per hour.
That's right.
And I would love to tell my guys, look, I'm in the military, folks, so I love to tell my troops, slow down. I don't ever want to tell you to speed up, but it's cool if I had to tell you to slow down, and so the whole team was going like balls to the wall, so it was great to see, man. And also, even with the missed tackles, they swarmed the ball so much that if a guy missed a tackle, they only got 1 or 2 yards because the whole team was right there to get the, just clean up.
Help was on the way, baby.
Help was on the way. But they didn't have a ton of missed tackles today. I mean, they tackled in space very well. Yeah,
I found myself saying that over and over again. Rally and tackle, rally and tackle, rally and tackle. Let's go, every single time, because you're seeing that. They're just dogs on the hunt. And it's different, man. We haven't seen that in a long time.
It's an attitude, man. It's a different attitude. We're seeing a guy like Sweat be more consistent, which that dude screams NFL talent if he just wants to be consistent. Alfred Collins looked good today.
He showed up. He showed up in a big way.
If he turns the light switch on and it's just lights out, oh my God, it's a wrap. Coburn has been so consistent this year. I just really love what I'm seeing from him. Yeah, man, I am too. I just love his size because he's not the tallest guy, so he gets perfect leverage because of his height. Man, great game by the defensive line. And also here, Kelvin Banks is a beast. Yes, he's a monster. And the best thing about Kelvin Banks today is that we didn't hear his name. If you hear offensive lineman's name, that means they're not doing something right.
That's facts. That's a great point.
And even Christian Jones. Put some respect on Christian Jones' name, man. He had a hell of a game today.
He did.
I loved him. Bijan got the no, it wasn't Bijan, it was Sanders when he slipped, and then Will Anderson comes and hits him while like he's on the ground. What did Christian Jones do? Ran up
right behind him.
Will Anderson got in his face. I was like, that's what I'm talking about, man. Like these guys are gelling. They're becoming a team, and they're not afraid. That's what I love. They're not afraid. They didn't roll over. They didn't roll over. And they know, I think when this team knows that when they go back and look at film, they're going to say, we had that game. Like,
I think that I tweeted this a minute ago, man. I think a team full of 53 freshmen just went out there, battled their asses off, and probably a lot. I'm gonna argue that they outplayed the number one team in the country.
Yep.
Yeah. Look, if you look statistically, Alabama was negative in EPA. So expected points added, they're negative, and Texas is positive. I mean, statistically,
there you go.
Statistically, we outplayed them.
Yeah, yeah. But it's just, it's about it ain't about the X and O's, about the Jimmys and Joes, right? And they had the biggest Jimmy over there, right? They had the biggest Joe over there, right? And that's that guy named.
It's about that culture too, man. They know how to close those games.
They know how to win. They know how to win.
They know how to win. And so if Texas can stay on this trajectory, next year, the following year, we'll be able to do those things too when we're having – because we can't forget, they tried to lose the game. Their penalties were insane. Yeah. But to be able to come back and do that, that's just great culture. That's what's knowing what to do. So that's where I want to get for us, man, where it's like we play a C- game and we're still able somehow at the end to come finish it. But we didn't – I was worried when Bryce drove on us. That was the test from last year. Are we going to fold right now?
Yeah, I asked the same question. Yep.
And they didn't. We came back and Auburn cold-blooded kicked it, dude. And so it's
that's that mental toughness, man.
My exact words.
Talk about this last night. Where's that mental toughness going to come from? That's what I was worried about. That's my biggest fear is when things aren't going our way and the offense isn't clicking, the defense isn't clicking, who's gonna step up and make a play? And it all day long, it wasn't just it was everybody was stepping up and making the play. This team is playing like a team, right? And that's something that we haven't seen in a while. We had a bunch of individuals that were good at a certain thing, and yes, they would go to the league or they walk on and be like a undrafted free agent, in the league. But this team is playing like a true team now, man. So it's just really good to see, man.
Yeah, my exact words with about 6 minutes and change left or whatever it was, right before the defense was about to take the field to try to get us the ball back, in which we ended up taking the lead on the Auburn field goal. But my exact words were, it's gut check time. Something to see how tough we are, how deep we are, how physical we are, and what type of conditioning that we're in. Because, again, we know we got so accustomed to seeing Texas defenses fold last year in the second half of games that we had, double-digit point halftime leads in. So that was great to see. It just, like you're saying, it feels like it's team this year is much more than it has been in a very long time.
Yeah, this is common here. So it says the defense came to play, especially being the one aspect everyone was worried about. Exactly. That face mask wasn't called on the 15-yard line. The last drive was horseshit. Exactly. That would have pushed us to around the 8-yard line, like 7-yard line. And from that point on, I think we go into the end zone. I mean, I can't say for sure, but it's first down and goal from the 7. I like our odds there. I like the odds that Sark's going to put a play in place that's going to get us in the end zone.
And they burn their final timeout.
Yes, man. I thought that was,
that
was it. I was like, how could you miss that call on Keelan? I mean, his whole face just turned – I mean, it's like, come on, ref, but, hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Texas played their ass off. But one thing I can say that I saw Sark did a lot to game, and Homer actually said this yesterday too. He played a lot of two-back sets today. A lot of two-back sets today. And I thought that was going to be big here for this game. He showed us a wrinkle last week. He did, I think, 21 personnel twice last week. He actually ran the ball, I think, with Keelan, for 7 yards. And he did 120 personnel, and I think it was a pass play for nothing. But he showed us wrinkles of it. I think this game, it's going to be interesting, like this for me, like to watch the game again. I'm pretty sure he did two-back set probably like a quarter of the game, man. I mean, it was all over the game, right?
Was it that much? I don't remember off the top of my head, but I know it was quite a bit.
Yeah. So, I'm thinking like at least a quarter game, especially after Quinn got hurt. He used a lot of two-back sets then. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear Rod Babers talking about the two-back set that you're referencing in the passing game being the most efficient pass play from a year ago for Texas with two running backs in the backfield in that formation? That was their most efficient pass play a year ago. So that might be something that we kind of see continuing to trend, especially
and I never
if Quinn has to miss more time.
Like, is it because of its rarity, right?
Yeah,
right.
Because it's like because they're like, when we're in empty, we do great. It's like, well, we rarely do it, so they're not really game planning for it. If we're in empty every play, is it that successful? So that's where I'm always interested with like the smaller things. Is like, is it successful because it's so rare? Or does that mean if we actually went to it all the time, it would be that successful?
Yeah. That's a good thing too. That's a good question.
It's a great point. Yeah. Totally.
I'm pretty sure because it's like the lack of use throughout the year. If we used it more often, teams would kind of hone in on it and kind of know what the hell is going on. But it's a good shot in the arm, right?
What are your guys' thoughts on having a? I completely understand it and I loved it today. But moving forward, with Andre Carr basically lined up as an eligible receiver, playing tight end, but not threatening anybody at all in a multi-dimensional manner. Obviously, he's in there to help on the edge, right? He's not running around. So, what do you guys think about
that? Was for this game.
I think same here.
This game
I think
only.
it was
same here.
Yeah, that was for this game. I think he's our swing guy, right? So Sark said he's probably one of the most important guys in the line because if anybody goes down, he's the next man up, whether it's guard or a tackle, right? So. He's our swing tackle guard kind of guy. And I think that was for this game just to look. We got Anderson and we got, Turner. Like, hey, I need you to put some hat on somebody. That's all I need you to do. I don't care about the damn pass, right?
And if Banks and Jones keep performing at the level that they're doing, you need to keep him engaged. And it's good to give him a role. But, like, looking at these rushing numbers, dude, I pulled them up. Bijan had 21 carries and got 57 yards. He was averaging 2.7 a carry. Roschon Johnson got 5 carries for 16 at 3.2. Keelan Robinson got 1 carry for -2. So they just demolished our run game, dude.
Oh man, they had Keelan on the sweep, right? They had him on the sweep to the right side. Sweep to the left side. And I was like, what is going on?
I think all of us too, man, we're pretty damn confident, especially in Big 12 play. Like, we're going to run the freaking football this year. And then that team just absolutely
they were that good, man. Like, that's the thing is like, and I remember my keys to the game. I was like, if we don't have rushing success, we don't have a shot, which that was wrong, which is good. It's good to know that we can not rush at all and still almost beat Alabama
with the backup quarterback.
That's has like in the group chat. I was getting furious. I was like, "Quit running on early downs!" Like it has not. It literally hasn't worked once. Yeah. And so it's like we kept trying to do it. It's like we have to go to pass first, or else.
Well, didn't you say that? Didn't you say that too? In like 2 days ago or whatever it was, pregame.
Yeah,
like before the game, like in the prep for this week, you were kind of banging the table for that. So.
Yeah, that's why, and that's what they did. That's what Alabama did. That's why they finally turned it on. They go, the run's not working. We're going to quit being hard-headed, and we're just going to pass. And I get it. We have a second-string quarterback in. I totally get it. But any quarterback can throw a 5-yard slant. And so that was my thing of like, look, they're stuffing 2.7 yards per carry for the best running back in the nation.
Yeah, that means it's time to go to something else. But
yeah, it's time to quit being stubborn on first down and trying to run it.
That's another thing too to consider is I haven't heard the update on Deshaun Jameson. So if anybody knows that, please feel free to let us know. But Bijan was clearly banged up on that right shoulder too. You could see like he had an opportunity to stiff arm a guy and create some extra yak on one of the plays to the boundary. And he kind of just ended up trying to go around him or like little weird high step jump. And then I was like, dang, it looked like, he normally stiff arms that. And then they panned over to him when he turned around and I could see the tape.
Yeah, he was messing with his pads. Yeah.
It reminded me that I was like, oh, that's why, because he can't really push off with that arm right now. So that'll be something to.
I don't know about intentional grounding. Was there technically some eligible near it or whatever? Because that play was crazy.
Yeah. Because he wasn't down though, so
he can
technically
throw it
away. Wasn't a safety, right? So but also it wasn't a roughing the passer. I'm glad that they didn't call that, and it definitely wasn't targeting because he didn't even touch his ass.
He hit him in his legs. His legs were up in the air. When I saw that, I was like, his head was on the opposite side of DeMarion's head.
Yeah.
It's okay. So I have two things for that question. I thought the same exact thing the whole time. I'm sitting there like, that's intentional grounding. That's intentional grounding. My buddy made the point to me that to show the replay again. I finally looked up and watched the whole thing. That throw, it was tipped because he wasn't down yet. He threw it off of a Texas defender's helmet. I don't remember who it was. And they're also it was tipped. It was tipped. So no additional grounding. And then also, had it not been tipped, there was still a running back in the area. So they probably would have called an eligible receiver in the area anyways. So there was no way for that to be intentional grounding on by two accounts. So I thought the same thing too, though, until I saw the replay.
Yeah. Hey, Rock Drums 11. Hey, you great comment here. I know kickers and punters don't get much recognition, but I want to give props to Trejo. Trejo balled out.
Yeah, shout out to Trejo for sure.
He's our punter. That situational punt on the one.
Yeah,
I was
he drove him back to about the 35-yard line, didn't he? I was just like, wow,
he's the punter.
One of the best, but that one, like I think after he got the jitterbugs out of the system, it was like from the third punt on, he was great, man. I mean, that was a hell of a punt from that 1-yard line.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the walk-on safety, right? There was not him, number 29. He was there on special teams. He down the punt like inside the 1-yard line, and then I saw him make another tackle.
Yeah. That's
was that him or?
But it was a good play.
Yeah, I thought that was him, but if that in fact was the walk-on from, was it Austin Westlake?
Yeah, he's from Westlake. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was
cool moment for that kid too.
Great part too, man. No turnovers, right? Like. No fumbles. Like we almost got the pick on Bryce, but like on our side, we played really clean, man.
Yeah, we did. And it seems like we got into Alabama's head more than they got into ours, which I thought was so weird.
Yeah,
I mean, we were, maybe it is the non-conference game, not on the neutral field. This is usually they play non-conference games. Like Florida State, I think was in Georgia that one year. So they had split fans there. Usually when they play a big opponent non-conference, it's never in their stadium. And so maybe that was it. But, I don't want to say that either because they play in the SEC. The stadiums there are freaking huge and they're freaking massive and they're freaking loud all the time too as well. But, it just seemed like Texas was in Alabama's head for the majority of this game. And it seemed like we were the more cool, calm, and collective bunch, even though 55 of our players are first and second year players.
That's what I'm saying, man.
They're penalties, man. Like Anderson was. What was crazy about Anderson? He was always offsides, and I'm like, you don't need any more of an advantage than you already have, dude. Like you don't have to cheat the line. But like when he hit Sanders for no reason, I'm like, dude, this is just they're playing so out of character. That was what was so strange, man. Like they were saying it was the most penalties on a Bama team since 2000.
Wasn't like 16 penalties for the entire game, somewhere around there.
It was crazy, and there was several that didn't get called.
Yeah, they should have had 20 penalties. Like really, no kidding. There were two.
But it was just Saban has never had that slop. Saban's never had that sloppy of a game, and so it's like I don't know what was going on. But we were talking to Ty and Jance in the group chat who are Alabama fans. Even they were like, I don't know. We don't play like this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think that's just a little bit of a credit to the 105,000+ people that were actually an impact today, which I love to see. That was awesome. And also just like we talked about with Texas Football Talk, in our preview, you can inferior opponents more often than not catch, you can catch a team like Alabama slipping earlier in the season when they aren't fundamentally sound and executing. And then being in a hostile environment on the road makes that more difficult. So I think that was probably what
they're
I
the
would
ones.
chalk
This
that up
is
to, but
people kind of phrased it like the pressure's on Sark. The pressure's on Alabama.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's how they played. It's like you're 20-point favorites. Everyone has already said you're going to win the national championship, which you'll still probably go on to do. But there was this weird thing with like the national analysts that like, man, Texas is a lot of pressure. It's like, no, we're unranked. All the pressure's on Alabama. You lose to Georgia, so their whole thing is Alabama's going to be on the warpath. So psychologically, it was on Alabama to go out there and dominate. And you saw them get frustrated when they couldn't do that because we all assumed. I mean, my score prediction, to be honest with the fans, was 45-21 Alabama.
Yeah.
And so it was totally they got frustrated, man, and you saw it. And they were playing sloppy. They were doing late hits. They were doing sketchy stuff. And so that was what was super weird.
Freaked me out. Yeah. Hey, guys, let me take a minute. Hey, thanks for the super chat, Jesse Wyatt. He had a comment here. He said that the refs played a major role in Bama for the win, but if Ryan makes that sack, ball game. Overall, I'm proud of my boys and watch the commitments that are coming. I totally agree. Man, I wish Ryan would have made that sack. If Watts makes that sack, man, it is a wrap. But he played a hell of a game too. I don't want to take anything away from the game he played. His coverage in this game was the reason why Bryce couldn't throw the ball, and it's the reason why the defensive line was able to get some sacks in that game too, man. It's because they were getting coverage sacks, man. Like they were getting pressure too, but a lot of that was some coverage sacks as well.
This game is on the offense, man. Like there's no part of me that's blaming the defense for this game. I mean, holding Alabama and Heisman quarterback to 20. Yeah, if Ryan makes it there, but also if we had the extra 10 points, we should have had too. We're never in that situation.
Yep, exactly. I just hate Quinn got hurt, man, because it's a what if situation. It's another what if situation, and
yet again.
Yeah, if Bama fans want to be real with themselves, like I told my wife, I said, "Baby, if Quinn plays this game, you guys are done by the third quarter." No. She's we won that shit. I mean, she's on me, right? She called me already. She's talking mess and everything. Yeah. But I'm like, you know for a fact, if Quinn is in this game, the game's over. Mid third quarter, this game's over. I mean, he was. Dude,
cooking. If we had Billingsley, Nair, Hall. I mean, we're playing with a arm behind our back on top of it, and then you lose our quarterback.
Yeah,
I mean, so it's like, come on, man. Like, if
you can't be excited about thinking about what Homer just said, man, I have nothing for you. I have nothing for you.
Nothing for
you. We were playing at 30% power.
Yeah. and still kept it close. Well, actually,
still kept it close, and we're the minute and 30, we're winning.
Yeah. Oh man, stopping that fourth down. How big was that? How big was awesome. That, man?
That was Cook, right?
Yeah. That was Cook.
I root for Cook, man. Like
Collins, right? Because the pressure came from Collins coming from the right side of our line, left side of their line. He was in the A gap, wasn't he? A gap or B gap?
Yeah, I think it was A gap, right down Broadway.
Yeah. So he shot the gap, got the pressure, pushed the center back. And then Cook came in from the left side and cleaned the play up, man. That was freaking amazing.
I root for Cook, man. After doing my video with him and talking to him off screen, that's a super likable guy. It's a super smart guy too, man. So like anytime Cook does something, man, I'm especially excited because I'm just a huge fan of him. And then Ford bounced back, dude.
Yeah,
Ford. Yeah, he did. He had that sack, and then he was all over the field after that.
Yeah, make the tackles that are in front of you. That was one of my keys yesterday was make the tackles that are in front of you. We can't have missed tackles. He got in there, man. He had great sacks. A great sack. Make the tackles that are right in front of him. He didn't miss many tackles today. It was good.
Yeah.
No.
I don't really fault
who missed
him
on
for
the
that.
McClellan. What happened on the McClellan
That's what I was gonna say. So looking back, I saw the replay one time, and my eyes told me that they actually maintained their gap assignment. But the only problem was they had Gilbo as like the second level contain on that side of that play, and he just got bullied by a guy a Letu that's 120 pounds bigger than him. So he just got completely eliminated. It washed him out. And I don't know if that's like schematically. I mean, you might just have to tip your cap to Bill O'Brien in Alabama in that situation, knowing like, okay, if we get Jalen Gilbo on this side, we're gonna just run, tight end pull power and just go run right behind him. And maybe that's what they did. They identified that and executed it to perfection. But I don't think that was on Jalen Ford there, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I thought that was the play of the game, not only for Alabama, but also for Texas looking forward. And I say that was the play of the game because when they had that long run, what was it, 86 yards?
Yeah, something like that.
I was like, okay, all right, you got punched in the mouth hard. What are you going to do? All right, defense, this is what everybody says that you guys do is you play hard, boom, boom, boom. You hit some kind of adversity, and then you guys give up. What's going to happen now? They didn't give up, man. I mean, they didn't give up.
When you take that away, that 86-yard run, we held them to 80 yards rushing. Like McClellan had 97 yards, but it was 86. We held Gibbs to 22 yards rushing.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good question here, from Randall. Did Barron play more than Gilbo? I thought I saw both of them after kind of equal amount of time.
Yeah.
And I think when Jamison went out, they had Johnson playing in place.
That's when you saw Barron more.
But I thought I saw Barron playing the field some, and then Gilbo playing along in the nickel.
Because Barron can play corner, and so that's what I was thinking. I was like, you bring Gilbo in and replace him for Jamison because Watts is too big to play field corner.
Yeah,
but man, I really didn't feel like we were missing Jamison too much until the end.
His speed, we needed
the speed there because it took me a while to realize he was out of the game. I think it was one of y'all
same here
that had to tell me he was out of the game.
Yeah, same here.
But I mean, they had their best receiver was Gibbs at 74 yards, and then
he was their only. He was their offense part of the game. Yeah,
in the beginning especially, and so their second best receiver was Holden. He only got 39.
Yeah.
So I mean, Worthy had 97 yards on 5 receptions, averaging 19.4 yards, and then Bijan had 73 yards. Whittington had 64. So 2 of our guys did better than their top guy.
Yeah.
And then 3 did better than their traditional wide receivers.
Yeah.
Hey, it's pretty special, y'all, by the way. Like, sometimes because he's just so oft injured, I forget how great of an athlete Jordan Whittington is. But seeing him out there today with first round, going up and getting balls against guys that are, probably going to be first or second round picks, man, like just looking that big, is like he just looks so strong, but you're seeing him fly, like while running full speed. The ability to still elevate at the rate that he does is so impressive. And just like seeing him fly over 2 corners or 2 DBs and even have a chance to make a play on that one deep ball. He had it in his hands, but he almost reeled it in. But dude, I can't wait to see that dude put a full season together of hell. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. And Ford is verified. He led the team in tackles, 10 tackles, 6 solo, 1 sack, 2 TFLs. So Ford had the best performance there after ULM not having a tackle. So that's
not a single tackle.
He didn't have any against ULM?
Zero.
Oh man, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but to do that versus ULM and turn around and perform like that for Alabama, that's exactly the development we were talking about we wanted to see this year versus last year. Mm-hmm. So
exactly.
I think it was it that blown assignment that actually took Gibbs out of the game because of the blown pass protection?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was it. They even mentioned on the broadcast that they were like, okay, seeing Gibbs for the first time in a while after that blown assignment on that pass.
Yeah.
Which I think was a bad decision because Gibbs was eating us up. And so it's like, I get that he missed the protection, but he was also pretty much your offense the entire game.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. I knew the hype on him was pretty big, and like Alabama fans in particular were expecting a lot from him. But I was kind of sleeping on Gibbs a little bit. I was like, I don't know if he's this dude that's all cracked up. But yeah, it turns out that was wrong.
In the run, so that's what's fascinating about him. He's boomer bust. Like he'll have a game where he goes for 150, and then he'll have a game that he goes for 20.
Yeah,
like he was -10 on 10 attempts versus Pitt last year. So he is so boomer bust, but how he's able to be such a good, he was the #1 all-purpose back. So it's his receiving. So
receiving yards, man.
So he had 74 yards receiving, and he had 22 yards rushing as a running back.
Yeah. He was my kind of X factor player of the game. You know, I said it last night. He's not a guy that's going to move the chains and get you 5 yards to carry. But what he can do is he might get you 2 here, 2 here, 2 there, and then he can break it. I thought he was going to break it, but he didn't break it. It was the other running back. He broke it. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Now we got him to deal with it. But Gibbs caught the ball really well. And a lot of this stuff, it was like we could see it because we were texting each other during the game. Like anytime he would flank out and, it was a simple route in the backfield, just a pass behind the line of scrimmage, which is basically like another run, right? And it's a 6-7 yard gain. I was just like, God, Lee, come on, guys. Like he's just right there. Just follow the kid. But Saban took him out the game. I think that was a horrible decision by him as well because he was the most impactful player, man. So
completely agree.
Yeah,
good game. Wanted the W, but it is what it is, man.
One thing we do got to worry about, this is the same, is our third down success rate is awful. We're in the first percentile. So, and that was the same with ULM. And so we only converted 27%. So for the rest of the year, man, we have to improve on third down because we're going to have trouble with anybody because it was same with ULM. We cannot complete on third down, man.
Yeah. You know what? I would love to see what the numbers were first half versus second half. What were Quinn's numbers with the third down conversions versus Robocard's numbers? Because I kind of felt like Quinn and them were getting it done in the first half. I got to go back and look at the film and stuff just to make sure. But it just seems like, second half, we got really conservative. I think Sark might have thought Quinn was coming back in the game. I think that's why Card's first two drives, he was kind of really, really conservative.
Dude, that third and 12,
that was the reason too.
That 3rd and 12 screen that he threw with Card right before the half, I was like, we're just giving up. And then so that's why I was like, same thing. I think that Quinn's coming back.
Yeah. I thought that he was coming back.
I love the brutal honesty, just out of sheer just pain as a fan. Oh God, we're just giving up.
we were on that. We did because who was I roasting? There's another team. Last week we were on the group chat. I don't think we were playing it wasn't our team. But somebody was doing that. I can't remember the game, and I was getting mad at them because I was like, no, it was Utah State versus Connecticut. I wasn't even talking to you guys. But when I was watching Utah State versus Connecticut before they played Bama, they were doing that same thing. I was like, they're not even trying. Northwestern and Nebraska did that too.
Yeah, they sure did.
And
hold on. Utah State beat UConn, didn't they? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But it was Northwestern early in that game versus Nebraska. They were doing these 3rd and 11 screens to the boundary where everyone was at. I was just like, come on.
Jeez.
Make it make sense, right? So, all right, man. Well, hey, we've been off for an hour, man. We've been off.
I'm about to jump off too. If you guys are good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna take the kid fishing. I don't want to go home yet and talk to my wife.
Try to blow off some steam first.
I'm gonna take the kid fishing, man. So, and then after that, I'm gonna do stats tonight. And
I gotta watch UTSA Army because I gotta finish writing my UTSA video.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch the game again. Hopefully, it should be up tonight on YouTube, or I can record it again and go play for play and track all that stuff.
Nash is going to be on it.
Yeah, which is what I need. Yeah. Play for play, offense and defense.
100%.
Hey, man, honestly, I will say though, therapy session was much needed, and I feel a lot better actually. So I appreciate y'all for doing the Lord's work and for everybody in the comments helping us get through this. But too much to be proud of to hang your head, man. I'm just pumped.
100%.
I'm excited. I'm excited of what the future has to hold. So I can't wait to see it.
Exactly, man. Well, hey, we're gonna talk later on this week, folks.
Let's do it. I'll see you guys later, man. Thanks.
All right, later. Hug 'em.
Hook 'em.